Nope.
Hello and welcome to the Adventures in Poor Taste podcast. My name is Gregory Paul Silver here with J.R. Richards. How you doing,
Hi.
Jordan?
I'm doing just fine. We're missing a friend.
Yeah, we're sad. We don't know where Sam is. He was supposed to be with us, but we're going to go on without him because we are professionals and we know how to do this.
Hopefully.
All right, so what do you say we start off with? I don't know. What have you been reading lately, J.R.?
Well, let's see here. I've been trying to catch up on some series from Image so I can get back to reviewing them. Rat Queens, Velvet, and I just started reading Umbral.
Umbral.
Yeah.
I started reading the first issue, could not get into it.
Yeah, that's the thing about Umbral. It's not very reader friendly at all. You just kind of
Oh,
drop into it, and you're just expected just to go with things. I will say at this point where I'm reading it, it's starting to help the audience start to understand what's going on, but still using a lot of terms that they don't properly explain. Talk about stuff that happened in the past they haven't explained, but they're getting there slowly, and it's still interesting, but they really need to hurry up.
to use the parlance of our site, is it good?
It's goodish.
Good-ish? So that's a no, it is not good.
Yeah, still got two more issues to go with the trade collection before I know how it looks so far.
Okay, well, not exactly a ringing endorsement, but looking forward to hearing how it all turns out.
Hmm.
I've been reading, I've been pretty busy, so I haven't been reading much. I just finished reading Sin City: A Dame to Kill For. I should have my review up within the next few days.
Yes, the movie's coming soon.
Yeah, yeah. So Dark Horse is reprinting that story. It was really good.
Well, yeah,
Really, really good.
yeah, I think it's
What?
before pre Crazy Miller days.
Yeah, this is 1995, I believe.
Probably on the edge.
Um, it's it's the second Frank Miller Sin City yarn after The Hard Goodbye with
Mhm.
the character Marv,
All right.
which was in the first film. This one features the character Dwight, who was also in the first film, but in a story, the story that he was in the first film took place after A Dame to Kill For. So in some ways, I suppose the movie is going to be a little bit like a prequel, although not really because they had the hard goodbye too. I don't know. Either way, I'm looking forward to the movie. I love that film. And I've read a few other Sin City books since then.
All
I
right.
read That Yellow Bastard, which was incredible, and the one called Hell and Back. It's the seventh one, and it is weird as hell. Have you read any Sin City?
No, not really. I'm aware of it, but I really haven't gotten into it.
Okay. Well, it's definitely worth checking out. If you could get your hands on the new Dame to Kill For before the movie comes out, I definitely recommend it. It's some really stellar, like neo noir stuff, and it really reminded me of why Frank Miller is
With
for all his excesses worthy of being considered a living legend. Um,
yeah,
or I like to think that you should consider an artist for his best work rather than for his worst work.
unfortunately, he's putting out his worst work nowadays.
Yes, but I think when you look at Frank Miller, the person as a whole, um, I think it's better to look at him for his past good stuff. Although there is something to be said for the whole idea of an artist is only as good as his most recent work, and his most recent like full length graphic novel was Holy Terror, I
Yep.
believe, and that is quite possibly the worst comic I've ever read. It actually made me shed a tear or two when I read it. I was so appalled. Have you read it?
No, it's one of those books where I'm well aware that it's how infamous it is, but I do not want to
Okay,
read.
so you know that's like Islamophobic,
Right.
and
There's kind of a like with something like say Catwoman. It's kind of fun how awful it is, but it's not hateful. Well,
uh,
Holy Terror is hateful.
yeah, Holy Terror, and that's why it upset me so much.
Hmm.
I read it in a time when like I was just starting to get really into comics. Frank Miller was one of the first guys to really that I really discovered, um, and I just couldn't believe that this came from the same man that did Batman Year One. But moving. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, let's move on to something more upbeat.
Okay, let's talk about our pull list. We kind of have had to do this a little bit on the spot because we were hoping that Sam would be able to give us his pick. But I don't know, Jerry, you've got things that you could recommend, right?
Right, Batwoman number 32. It's the second arc for the new writer there, and it's off to a very good start. It's still got a lot of good
Wait,
characterization.
who is the new writer?
Mark Andrico.
Oh, it's the second arc with the new
Yeah,
writer. Oh,
yeah.
sorry,
After Since Age one.
I misheard.
You're right. It's the second story arc. It's off to a good start here. I already like the new villain, Nocturna. She's an old Batman foe that's now being brought back and stuff for the new 52, and she's pretty good so far. And she's a legitimate threat in comparison to the previous villain who just kept getting lucky and was completely out of his league. Yeah, and it's good character work. There's a little bit of a cliche storyline in it with an old flame of Kate showing up in town, and she's conflicted about seeing her again, all that kind of stuff. But it's off to a good start.
Okay. Um, I read a little bit of the first of the Batwoman with
J.H.
uh,
Williams.
J.H. Williams and Hayden Blackman,
Mm-hmm.
but I have not read any of this stuff from the new writer.
Mm-hmm. It's good stuff. It's very character focused, and but its real downfall is it's pretty slow and drawn out at points.
Okay. And did you have anything else you want to recommend?
Oh yes, my ultimate pick of the week, and the one I gave a 9.5 out of 10 to, Harley Quinn number 7. It's it was really the funniest thing I read all week, and yes, I did also read Sex Criminals.
Yeah, I'm behind on Sex Criminals.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that one had tonal issues, but this one was straight out funny the entire time. It had hit with pretty much every gag. It's pretty dark at points with humor. At one point, a body falls out of a window, and Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy take bets on where it's going to fall onto the sidewalk or onto the regular side when it falls onto barbed wire, and then it splits in half. And they're like, oh, guess we both win. Yeah, it's dark, but it's still fun and upbeat. And it's pretty good. In fact, next I would recommend checking it out now because next week they're releasing the director's cut for issue 0.
Okay, I might check that out if it's not too pricey.
It's
Uh,
$5, but they're giving you the original issue along with previous contestants who sent in their pages, commentary from the writers and all the artists that worked on it before seeing extras, all that kind of stuff.
uh, I don't know if it's worth it, but I am a sucker, as I said before, for meta kind of stuff,
Mhm.
metafiction, postmodernism, and I understand that issue 0 is very meta.
Yeah, basically
Um,
she's dreaming, and the voices of the writers, Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti, are talking to her about helping her find a good artist for her comic.
okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll check it out. My pick for this week, though, is Silver Surfer #3.
Hmm.
JR, have you read any of this new Silver Surfer?
I
Yeah,
honestly should. I had the first issue on Comixology sent it out for free. As
yeah,
part of the reading.
definitely check it out. And check it out on like a big screen if you can,
Yep.
because Mike Allred's art is astounding.
Yeah,
Um,
it always is.
I am talking about the first issue now,
Oh,
but
okay.
there's this one spread in the first issue that is worthy of like being framed. You could put that in like a modern art museum and not mention the fact that it came from this comic book, and people would
Eat it up.
still, yeah. Anyway, issue #3 though is just more of that same kind of good stuff. You got the Silver Surfer, who normally is kind of this brooding, remorseful character. He's really into the existentialism and all that good stuff. But this is a really fun series. It just takes this idea of this character that can go anywhere and do pretty much anything and just roll with it. It's been described to me as being like Doctor Who.
I don't watch Doctor Who.
I don't watch it either. I understand the comparison because I'm aware enough of Doctor Who's premise and general structure. So I guess if you like that kind of thing, you'd like Silver Surfer. But if you don't watch Doctor Who, don't let all the Doctor Who comparisons get in your way. This is still just a really good comic. And I'm really enjoying the direction it's going in. I reported for CBR the Mike Allred Spotlight panel, and
Mhm.
I'm sorry, that was a shameless plug right there.
Yeah. Huh?
But yeah, he's really excited for the series, and I am too.
Yeah. Like I said, I should really start reading it. I really do like his artwork, or from iZombie and his bit he did with FF.
Yeah, definitely hop on board while you still can.
Speaking of FF, have you tried reading Ultimate FF?
I have not. I understand that I am one of the many who have not, though.
Yes, it is. It has been officially canceled. Oh, the second issue sold was the 140th best-selling book for the month on the second issue.
That
That
is really sad. Like, I feel like
yeah.
I mean, you can't buy everything, but I really feel. Who's the creative team on that?
Joshua, let me look him
Oh
up.
yeah, Hale Fialkov.
Yeah,
Or
and there's an artist. Let me look him up. I don't know who he is, but I think he's part of the problem why it didn't sell well.
oh yeah, I know. I looked at some of those pages. They didn't look too bad. I just thought that I
Well,
know it's just unfortunate that because I think DC at least gives their comics like 8 issues or so
they
before
do.
getting canceled.
Oh, yeah. Well, the recent issue is awful. Oh, well, the second issue was bad because it had like four different anchors on it. This
That's
one,
never good.
yeah, this one looks unfinished at points. The coloring is inconsistent throughout, even though it has the same colorist. Or its pages don't look finished. And there's just people don't look like people. Colors blend together. The colors are bland as hell. It's bad.
Oh man.
Yeah, just look at that review I did for it. I gave like a 2.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out when I
Yeah,
get the chance.
I had to take
Um,
5 whole points just for the artwork alone. It was horrendous.
well, I mean, hey, artwork is at least half of a comic's value.
It's just,
Um,
yeah, it's just so rare that I see artwork this bad though. But let's
well,
segue into something with better artwork.
something with better artwork. Okay, how about something like The Wicked and the Divine by Jamie McKelvie?
Yeah, there we go.
Our indie book of the week.
hmm Well,
Art by Jamie McKelvie, written by Kieron Gillen.
yeah. What's your experience? Before we get into that, what's your experience with the writer and artist?
Um, I read the first issue of Phonogram Volume 2 uh, because it was free on Comixology.
Ah, okay.
And I read the first two issues of Young Avengers. Interestingly, I really, really enjoyed both of those comics. I just did not see them through. They're definitely comics that, especially Young Avengers, that I plan on once I have the money and time checking out more fully.
They're releasing a special edition of it in the fall that collects the entire run.
Of Young Avengers?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
If I win the lottery by then or something,
It's like $35.
for how many issues?
15 plus bonus issues from Point One edition.
That's not bad.
My
Um,
experience with the writer is I've read the first two issues of Young Avengers, and I kind of thought they were very corny. They were kind of hammy. The dialogue felt off at points. Like, people don't really talk like this. And it was like trying to be cool and hip and stuff.
oh, you're gonna hate Sin City then. I'm one that
I don't know. I like
I
noir a lot.
okay. Well, then you know that noir is one of those genres where you could get away with having people that talk
Right,
not like the way people talk as actual human beings.
right. I
And I
don't
think
really
when
notice.
done, it's a very difficult balance to strike, but I think when done well, you don't necessarily need naturalistic dialogue
Right.
for it to be good dialogue.
It just
It's a very difficult balance to walk, though.
right. I just kind of noticed it more in that book.
Okay. I just love the very unsubtle use of metaphor that he used in that. And it's equally unsubtle in The Wicked and the Divine, too. This idea of talking about pop stars. What if pop stars were actual literal gods? Idolized like the gods that they are. I think that's a brilliant idea.
Well, I wasn't really paying attention to it. I just kind of judged it as the story itself.
Well, what did you think of the story?
It was fine. It was just fine. There was nothing wrong with it at all. Oh, I read it. I didn't dislike it. It's just it didn't really leave much of an impression with me when I did. And I found it kind of silly at points, especially when the girl was describing the concert. It was kind of like he was going so over dramatic with it. It was kind of like silly. It's like, oh, she's going about path. I think she's about to climax right there while watching.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I enjoyed that stuff though. I gave it an 8 in my review.
hmm
My one real gripe with it is that it started off kind of slow with the sort of I describe it in my review as Jonathan Hickman-esque
Mm.
sort of ritual sequence where things are very foreboding and there are infographics used, so you know it must be important, but we don't really know at this point in the story what the significance is. And
Probably has to do with
so,
that ending, though.
yeah, but
Oh, I got some flashbacks from scanners from that.
I never saw Scanners.
Scanners is very infamous for its head explosions.
Oh. Yeah, those were some spectacularly drawn head explosions. What do you
Really?
think of the art? I thought I just think Jamie McKelvie is incredibly talented. I
It's
think he's the perfect fit for this book.
well, the art's fine. It just doesn't really hit with me too much. It's just kind of oh, it's all right. I just don't see it as very special like everyone else does. It's not bad at all. Oh, it just doesn't click with me. Though those head explosions were spectacular.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure because for me, I mean, I love the fact that it's, I describe it in my review as this is like a comic that it's such a thing where possible. This is a comic that you can dance to. There's a rhythm to the way that it's drawn, the way that panels correspond and interact with each other. Um,
One person on Twitter described the book as it's seven pages of story and 30 pages of the writer discussing his favorite pop stars.
and you know what? In my opinion, with some reservations, that was a lot of fun to experience. What you just described.
Hmm.
But you're right. It's a big rant about pop music, and I don't know. I liked it.
It was
So
fine. I'm not sure if I had like a big desire to read it again and or continue with it, but I'll keep an eye on it as time goes on. Hey, oh, there you are. You just appeared for a second. The people. There's two of them. Greg. Oh. We may be experiencing some technical difficulties here, people. There's two clones of Greg. Hold on, we got a message. Stay with us as we try to fix this. Uh, Hold on, Greg's confused. Let me check here. I'm sending him, trying to send him another invite. Sorry, folks. What weird. Okay, invite sent. Hopefully he gets back. Otherwise, it's gonna be kind of weird how to end this stuff. Greg, you there? Greg. Well, I'm gonna try it fixing this, people. Trying to remove these clones right now, folks. Oh, sorry. Yeah. You want to block this user? No. Sorry, folks. Oh, so this is getting weird now. well, well, at least no one's watching at this moment. Trying to get our friend back. Oh, this is a way to start. This is. If he's not back in 2 minutes, we're going to have to wrap this up tonight, folks. Sorry for how this is all ending. Wish it could have gone better, but we were kind of experiencing technical difficulties before the episode even began. I didn't figure it would get back into the actual podcast. Alright. One more minute. So, in other words, Greg liked the issue, and I was okay with it. Yeah. So hopefully next week will be better. Next week we should be either discussing Saga or Outcast, a new comic by Robert Kirkman. I hope it goes better next time, and we have more guests as well. Oh. Thanks for joining us anyways. Sorry about all this again. See you next week.